It's Brenda Miller. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and I go live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. to share some things that are going on, stamping news, projects I'm working on, things like that. And today is no different, but today is the last live that I have before Friday's deadline for Sale-a-Bration. So Sale-a-Bration 2025 is going to be over as of Friday, the 28th. So I wanted to share everything Sale-a-Bration so that I can, let you know about things that maybe you missed or that you didn't know were part of Sale-a-Bration. So let's go ahead and take a look at my desktop. Here we go. All right. So we have our Sale-a-Bration catalog. Now, everybody should have seen this by now, I would hope. And this contains everything that was available as of January 7th. And it goes through February 28th. And I just want to share with you some little extra tidbits about hopefully each of these items. This first one, documenting the day. If you are a scrapbooker, this is a great addition to your collection. We're definitely getting much more into scrapbooking. We've got a lot of close to my heart makers who have joined Stampin' Up! And have shared so many unbelievable ideas. And I have been dabbling a little bit back with scrapbooking. So I can't wait you'll hear more about that. Anyway, so this set is great for that, okay? Next up, we have this kit, and I have this here to show you. This is a card making kit, and it looks like this. And let me just take it out of its package so that you can see. It contains all the supplies for 6 cards, 2 each of 3 designs. So here you go. You can see it a little bit more closely. And they are adorable. There's no stamping with this kit, so it's just a matter of gluing and choosing what you want. There are sentiments in here in multiple languages. So if that's something that appeals to you, you can look for that. Next up, we have the fruit salad designer series paper. I've shown a lot with that, but here's a card we just made recently in a class that can use all the different papers. You just mix and match the colors, which is actually what we did in the class. We used multiple pages from here, and everybody went home with a different card. So that is the fruit salad 6x6 designer series paper. Next, we have our Friendly Seagulls stamp set. This has been very popular. It's so adorable. I can't even stand it. So anyway, how adorable is this? Great. Lots of great cards out there. I didn't have any to show you. I'm sorry. Not with that one. Also, the Starstruck embossing folder. You probably have to look at it online to get a really good look. But here's a little inset that really you can see how it embosses. So that is another great item to add to your collection. And Day to Celebrate, this too is versatile, especially for birthdays and congratulations, so all happy things. So that is another stamp set that you can get. And now, those are all photopolymer. Next up, we have the Toadstool Gardens designer series paper. I love this. We made this card last night in our Zoom class. We used several of the different papers, 3 different papers. And what's nice about the Toadstool Gardens is that it has fewer designs than usual. So you'll see there are 1, 2, 3, I guess there are 48 sheets, and you actually get for whatever reason, it's more sheets of a particular design. So when you usually a 6x6 package has only 4 each of the designs. This one you get, I believe, 8 sheets of each of the designs. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so, and it does coordinate with the terrific Toadstools bundle, which has been very popular in the mini catalog. Next up, we have the Fresh Freesia ribbon, and I can't believe it. I don't over a card that has it, so I'm going to go grab a spool of it, because I have a few of those. And this ribbon is beautiful. You can see that it's super thin. It is seam binding. So you can see here how thin that is. And it's really easy to work with. It ties really easily. It sticks really easily. So it's just a great little embellishment for you. So Fresh Freesia 10 yards, great addition to your collection. And then we have Pick a Season. This is another photopolymer stamp set that you can get. Now, any of these that I've shown you so far, you can get, you can earn for free with a $60 purchase. So if you are there are things that you like in the catalog and you can get to $60 before shipping, handling, and tax, then you get to choose one of these items that I've been sharing. Another photopolymer set is this Dance With Me. How cute is that? And then we have our purple adhesive back sequins. I tend to purchase or choose the consumables because I do go through a lot of them, but this is what they look like. And I have been using them all over the place. So many different cards and classes, etc. And then my favorite item out of the entire catalog is this Bloom Impressions Designer Series paper. And I just have 2 samples, but this one is a great sample because it uses 4 of the 6 different designs that are in there. Actually, there are 12 designs, but this is the floral side. The other side is a little watercolory. Anyway, so this was a very popular card that I had. You can see the purple sequins on there. And then last night we again used that paper package and we focused on the yellow. This is actually 1 sheet of paper. This is the front and this is the back. So you can see how pretty that is. So I actually got a few of these. So I do get to choose a lot of Sale-a-Bration items because I buy a lot of supplies because I do a lot of classes. All right, now the next 2 items you can get if you purchase $120, and this was very popular. This is the heart-shaped bundle, and you can see that it actually comes with dies that go with it, and a card that we made using that is right here. And this is actually the Toadstool Gardens paper in the background. So such a pretty, pretty wreath. And it was the first Sale-a-Bration item, well, second behind the Bloom Impressions paper, but the second one that I got because I love it so much. And finally, in this catalog are the Corner in Bloom, stamp set. Super pretty to stamp with. And just lovely flowers. So you can see lots of samples online if you take the time to look. If you have a very large order, actually, if your order is over $99, you might want to consider signing up and being part of my team. I would love that. And you would get this stamp set and your choice of 2 sets of Stampin' Right markers, which is a great value if you don't have markers, or you can choose $30 in free product. So that is definitely, Sale-a-Bration is always a great time to sign up. It's always a great deal. And shipping is free on your starter kit. So anyway, so after January was over, we came out with a whole new list of items that you can get. And I just really wanted to talk about these because you may have missed the detail behind these and what goes on. So first up, we have the Planted Paradise photopolymer set. And I just want to show you how this works. This is an older card made with that stamp set. You can see I stamped that here. It's all different leaves and vases. And the way that it works, this is called a reversible set. So the idea is that you can stamp your leaf, and I will use this one. Okay, and I just want to show you really quickly. There's my paper right here. Okay, I'm going to put this on my block, and I'm going to stamp it down. It looks like it has red on it, but it doesn't. It's just stained. I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green right here, ink pad, and I'm going to stamp it down. Okay. And so that's the detail part of this. And what you can then do is take the stamp, flip it over, and these are designed so that you can do this, okay? Most of our stamps, you could always do it, but they're not designed that way. And you can stamp over it and get a little more detail. Okay, that didn't work out so great. So let's do this again. That's what I get for winging it with this. I'm going to take out my paper and just stamp off a little bit. So let's do that. So let's do this is the more solid piece, and we'll stamp it on. I'm sorry, stamp off first, right? And then we're going to flip it over. And usually you would clean it if because it does get a little bit slippery if you don't. And at full strength, I'm going to come back and go over it, two-step stamp, and you can see, not very well done, but you can see how you get both images. So anyway, it is one of the few reversible stamp sets that we have, and it's a great value. In the catalog, it is $22, so that is a great thing to get for free. Up next, I have, let me just get throwing stuff on the floor, believe it or not. Next up, we have our Sale-a-Bration Beautiful Butterflies. And the reason that this is a card that I made in a class that I did just with beautiful butterflies. You can see the dies are the highlight of this, but the stamping in the background, this would be kind of stark, this butterfly, if we didn't stamp in the background, and that is done with these pieces. So this is a great stamp set to have, whether or not you have the dies, but you have the option of getting the dies. The stamp set itself is $24, and if you wanted the dies, you could always add that to your order for $42. And instead of paying the $59.25 for the bundle, you would only pay $42. So that is a great way to get the bundle, if that is something that interests you. Okay, so that's that. Next up, we have, this is the Natural Botanicals stamp set. I don't own this one, so, but it is $22 in the catalog. The alphabet dies, unfortunately, are currently unavailable, as is the Sale-a-Bration Happy Houseplants Kit, which is unfortunate because those were, obviously, they're very popular and they were a terrific value. But if we come over here to the Trusty Tools dies, this was part of a bundle in a recent catalog, and here's a card that we made in a class using that. And we were able to cut out of the paper. Now, the paper isn't currently available, but there is a matching stamp set in the catalog, and that stamp set is $24. So the dies are $37 in the catalog. So if you just purchase the stamp set that goes with it, you've now got a lovely bundle for only $24. So just something to be aware of. Next up, we have our Bee Builder Punch. Now, the Bee Builder Punch was originally designed for the Be My Valentine set, which is in the catalog. And I just want to show you quickly how it works. It also coordinates with the new Meant to Be, BEE stamp set, which is also in the catalog. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stamp my wings on this, and that's what this piece is. I'm going to stamp this on here, and you kind of have to have an idea of how your punch is designed, but I'm just going to do this in the corners. It just makes it a little bit easier, maybe. I don't know, maybe I'd have to do this one the opposite way. I'm going to actually do this here. Okay, so now I've stamped that down, and I'm just going to take my punch. Now you see this heart here. See this heart? Punch. When I punch it out, I get the wings for my bumblebee. And then this little heart, which of course is great as a heart itself, but is there to cut out the antenna. Okay, so we've got our little wings and our antenna. So let's take a look at those. Whoops. go. All right, and then for the bumblebee, I'm going to take a piece of this is Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to stamp this right on here. And I would do it better if I had a little more time. And then I'm going to punch out the body of the bumblebee, like so. And I am cutting a few extra things there. And sometimes what I would do is create a mask for it. But here you can see I've now gotten my bumblebee. And you can create that. So it is helpful to have the Be My Valentine stamp set, but you can certainly use the meant to be for that. So anyway, that's how you use that. And there's also little faces in here that you can put on the bumblebee. But that's how a builder punch works. So in case you were wondering about that, that's what that is. And then we have our Happy Labels Pick-a-Punch, which I think is this is one of my favorite tools. Here's a card that we made last year using one of our online exclusive designer series paper and bundles. And you can see how it clips the edges. And the way that it works, the reason it's called Pick-a-Punch is, number one, you have different edges. This is like a ticket, if you from a machine. And this is more like a scallop edge. And the way that it works is that you can put in 1/2-inch strips, 3/4 inch strips, or full inch strips. So I'm going to take my 1/2 inch. You're going to push it all the way to the back. And when you're done, you get that. So that's not so exciting. But if you do it on this side, you will get a few more ridges, so that might work better. And this way you can make custom-sized labels for yourself. Okay, this one is 3/4 inch, and I plug that in. There you go. And then I'll do it on the other side, and we get these little ridges, which is close to what we have on the card here. And then you can take a full inch strip, push it all the way in, and there you have your ticket label. So here we go. Let's show this side. There you go. So this is a great handy punch to have. And again, you can make your own labels, and anything that fits on a 1-inch strip, like something like that, would be great. And we have a lot of stamps that fit in that area. Okay. Then lastly, we have 2 embellishments. The first is the Night of Navy Gold Glittered Ribbon, and this is so pretty. Let's see, I can open it. I had this before. Now this in the catalog is $9, so you could always purchase this as well afterwards, but I'm having trouble opening it. Do you see it has that little glitter in there? And it's a sheer ribbon with glitter, and you can actually see it even better on this photo. Okay, so it's a sheer ribbon that has the gold in there. And then finally we have our little brushed brass butterflies. And I always keep a bunch of these on hand, so I was excited to see them as a celebration item. Just put them on a card, and they really just give it that little extra oomph. You can see that we used it on this card too. So there we go. So there are big ones and little ones. So those are all the options of things. There are so many options of things that you can get if you are looking to shop on for celebration and get some things for free at the same time. Now, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber or would like to be, this is a great time to renew your Paper Pumpkin subscription. Now, you can only use one code at a time. So, for example, let's say you purchase a 3-month subscription. You can only, let's say but you already have a couple of months left on your last subscription. You'd have to hang on to that code until this subscription that you're currently using is expired, and then you would enter the new code. And there are also some changes coming to the Paper Pumpkin website, which will be very welcome, I'm sure. Starting next month, you'll be able to access everything through StampinUp.com, through your normal Stampin' Up login ID. So that is something that's great that's coming. But this is a great time to get your Paper Pumpkin subscriptions because you get to choose free stuff after, depending upon how many months that you purchase. So that's just something to consider. But if you have any questions at all about Sale-a-Bration, please let me know. And I hope you enjoy reviewing some of the Sale-a-Bration items that we've got. So thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.